So Christmas is here and it's coming just a little bit early. Lumix just recently dropped last week that the G9 Mark II is getting a crazy firmware update. And yep, that's true, external recording on the G9 Mark II. Now, what does this mean for the Lumix G9 Mark II and what is going to happen to the GH6? We're going to be diving all into that in this video. Now, what this means for the G9 Mark II, well, in spec terms, this means that you're able to shoot 5.8K up to 30 frames a second RAW on the Atomos Ninja Ultra. This also means you can shoot B-RAW on the Blackmagic Video Assist. Now, it's going to be all the same specs and settings that the GH6 has, but in the G9 Mark II. And on top of that, you can also shoot up to Cine 4K 120 frames a second RAW as well. Now, these are going to be some crazy spec'd out cameras for the first ever phase detect Micro Four Third camera from Lumix. Now, that begs the question is what will happen to the GH6 with this happening? Basically, this just made the GH6 not really a camera to consider buying anymore. There's only a few handful of features that I'll describe in a second, but if you're looking for a camera that has phase detect autofocus, that can shoot externally RAW and do all of the things basically that the GH6 can, but with phase detect, well, the G9 Mark II is that camera. So this leads me to what are the last advantages the GH6 has, and it's not going to be software based, but physical features on the camera. Starting off with the front record button on the front of the camera. This is honestly one of my favorite things about the GH6, the fact that you can just press record on front of the camera, have your other hand on the top handle, makes it really easy when you're trying to record a bunch of clips. The second thing is going to be the flippy up and flippy out screen. This is a feature I've been actually wanting on the S5 IIX. Obviously, that's not going to be coming onto this camera. That will be coming onto like probably the S1H Mark II or S2H camera, but the flip up screen has been so nice whenever I was shooting on the GH6, and it's a feature I honestly miss so much. And the last feature is true internal Apple ProRes. Now, even though I personally never really shoot Apple ProRes a lot, when I do, I still am going to an external SSD using the Condor Blue top handle. It is nice though that the GH6 has a CFX type B card slot that allows you to put a card into the camera, and you don't need any external SSDs, making it still weather sealant if you need that feature whatsoever. With that said though, it seems like it's about time for the GH6 to go to rest, which is kind of quite sad because it's only been out for like over a year now. And the fact is that the G9 Mark II is definitely here to stay, and hopefully Lumix will be coming out with the GH6 Mark II or GH6S, which will be the GH6 with phase detect autofocus. With that all said, the Lumix G9 Mark II is here to stay. And if you want to check out my review video on that camera, you can check that out right there. And then YouTube recommends you might like this video right here. Until next week, guys, peace.